welcome again to Sassy T at 2. Lord, I said that is so wrong. Sassy T at 2. I'm Terralisa McBride, your host, author, writer, poet, and we have.
Stephanie Winfrey, hostess with the Moses.
All right. Y'all, today's topic is in a relationship, do you stay with your partner, your spouse, your significant other if they don't like your children? Now, this may be a touchy subject for some, but as we stated before, we're talking about things unspoken. Stephanie has a wonderful story today, but I want to hear some of you guys' story. Call in, chime in, give us some of your ideas, how you were able to overcome it, all these things. Once again, we're here to help each other. And we're coming from Out of the Mud Inc. on this beautiful Sunday, October 26, 2025. So giving a shout out to James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield, George F. Grundy II, and Larry Lies. Also to all the podcasters that reside at Out of the Mud. Let's keep going, y'all. Let's do this. Let's do this. We're right here in the city of Flint making it happen. Stephanie, so with today's subject, when you stay in a relationship, what message are you sending the children or your spouse or significant other if you stay and there's some kind of an issue with that spouse in your life?
You're choosing love over them. You're choosing love over your children at the end of the day. No matter how good it might seem on the outside, on the inside, it's chaotic. When you
Okay.
have a child that doesn't like them, that's a problem.
Okay.
When you and a lot of us as parents sometimes overlook how our children feel about our mate, because
That
they
is
say they
true.
may come to you and say, "Mom, I don't like him," or this, that, and we'd be like, "Oh, just go on and sit down somewhere," like
And that's
they
sad.
feelings don't even
That's
matter.
sad.
Like we think that they don't know, but in reality, they know. They know how this person, and it could be something that they're doing behind your back that we don't even see. That when we gone, they might be triggering them some kind of way. And then when they kids come to us and they try to explain to us what's going on, or saying, "Mom, I don't like them," because they don't really know how to emotionally express their feelings,
Mm-hmm.
or even know how to communicate that to us because they're
Mm-hmm.
kids.
Right.
So the communication is not all the way developed yet with our children. So they'll come to you and say, "I don't like them." That's the first red flag. Because at that point, you need to turn on your antennas and start paying attention and listening.
Exactly. Exactly. And
And go ahead.
no, and I totally agree with all of that because you're sending a bad message to the child, first off, because that child came from you as a mother. But if you are a man, because remember, we're not male bashing. If I was, I mean, not if I was a man, but if I was with a relationship with a man and that man, I didn't like his children, I don't know, do he think he want to still be in a relationship with me? I mean, I've never done that, by the way, but
Mhm.
we're not male bashing at all, but there are men that have children that women don't like their children. I don't know if it's because they don't like the mother or they think that he may have some kind of kindness with the mother still after the child, but it's still a questionable issue as to should they stay in a relationship together. You know, it's still
Uh,
questionable.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But another factor to that too is when you have these baby mamas and these baby daddy situations where the relationship between the two is toxic, and them two have other partners,
Yes.
and their partners do not like your children, and it's not because of the kid, it's because of the partner, male or female.
Hmm. And
Because
I think as adults we need to cut that out. That's being that high
cut
school
it out.
biology press crap. That we need to cut that out. The kids
Be-
didn't actually be here. They didn't actually be involved in this.
Period.
And for them to sit up here and think that they're better, that their kids is better than their spouse's kid, I totally don't agree with that. I don't
But
agree with that.
it's not even healthy. It's not mentally healthy, because let me tell you what's going to happen. That then becomes a generational curse, because they became a generational curse with me.
All
I
right
have a
now.
story. My backstory to this is my mom got into a marriage that I didn't like. She chose not to listen to me when I kept telling her that I didn't like him. But
Wow.
I was raised up all my life with this person, knowing that this person didn't like me, which made my relationship with his family toxic.
And that was gonna be one of
But
mine.
I
That was
was
gonna be
raised up like this. And then moving forward, I got into a relationship that my daughter and my so-called significant other didn't like each other. But my thing is, if you know a child have a problem with you, being that other partner's partner, then you should make an adjustment to say, let me be a father figure to this child. I don't
absolutely.
care if the father, if the child, the son or the daughter do have a parent in their life, but apparently it could be some dynamics with that.
Hmm.
But if you know the backstory of this person that you in a relationship with that you
Exactly.
sleeping, that you eating with, you're sleeping with, you're sharing a home with, you're sharing your life with, you should know the backstory of that child's
Yes.
issues with their parent. So
Yes.
once you know that, you should say, well, let me be the bigger person. Let me be the father figure or the mother figure to this child so that she won't have to go through no mental trauma. Because then it becomes a generational curse. And that's how I feel.
Hmm.
And
And that's
my
why,
daughter is
no, go ahead.
choosing to break that cycle.
Yeah, and she should. Before we get into that, I just want to say this. What you just said was so powerful because it makes me remember the time listening to my grandmother and them saying that you got to be courted by that man before you start getting too involved with him. You got to make
Hmm.
sure you go through the process. And we want to hurry. Everybody want the microwave effect of everything. Oh, he's so fine. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, this, that. Let's hurry up and get together. Then, bam, a baby is made. Now that this
Yep.
baby is made, now you won't know nothing that much about her. She don't know that much about you because y'all didn't get no time to let it marinate before wanting
Yep.
to bring a child into this world. Now you have all these differences and you go through these things. So really, in my eyes, who's really suffering is the child because
Absolutely.
that child has to see that there is a defense wall between their own parents and their parents' new spouses or significant others, and they got to figure out where they fit in. Just recently, a story on the radio I heard: a 12-year-old boy came home and his mother, well, he knew they were going to move, and his mother and her quote unquote fiance went off to get married and took everything out of the home. Only thing was left with the things in his bedroom. When he called the cops thinking something was wrong, they found the parent, his mother, and she said, "Oh no, his uncle's coming to get him." They called the uncle. The uncle say, "Oh no, I didn't know anything about that." So to me, I'm like, why?
What?
Why would a mother do that to her child? But where was
Absolutely.
the daddy at? Where his biological daddy at? And why his stepdaddy didn't want to be a daddy? Because I'm sure he probably had kids or been around other kids.
Absolutely. But that's when we have to take accountability.
Okay.
That's when we have to take accountability as to when these children that's been traumatized with being with their mom or their dad's significant other who did not give one shit about them become adults and now they have issues and trying to move on and have a life and they can't because they so mentally traumatized and excuse my French fucked up. I'm telling you because
Mhm.
am going through it right now. I am going through it right now.
So Whitney, big energy, she said yes with a lot of S's. So she's feeling our conversation today. And we got
Absolutely.
Rod McMurrin Bay said, "Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Rod. I
Hey
could hear you.
baby.
Good afternoon."
That
And we got
that's our
Serenity
baby.
Walker. Hey, Serenity, you finally caught the show. Thank you very much. She says she's here. All right. If any of you got some questions, answers, or some concerns or anything you want to speak on, me and Stephanie here to try to just talk all through it because Lord knows we need each other as we are better as one, knowing these things. Because what we're talking about today may help a woman understand these are the things you want to stay away from and not do. It may help a man understand that if you're going to love her, you got to love her kids too. So,
Absolutely. And that just didn't transpired with me, and I'm very transparent about my story. And if anybody know me, you can go on my Facebook and look at my videos when my daughter was in the hospital, where my significant other, now mind you, this happened like 7 years into the game. I should have been gone. But this right here was 7 years into the game when I knew he didn't never care about. And let me tell you what was the red flag. When I stepped in to be a mother figure to your daughter who didn't have a mother in her life, and I was there 10 toes down on everything. And I told him, I'm her mother figure. She needs that. Why cannot you be a father figure to my daughter whose father is not here at the present moment in her life or anything?
What was his response?
Oh, I just can't, I can't do that. I'm not her daddy. That's what he said.
But
I'm
you're
not
not
her
his
daddy.
mother.
And I'm saying, and I'm
Red
telling him,
flag.
I'm not trying to say to be her father. I said a father figure because she definitely has a dad, but he's
Exactly.
not present in her life right now. You are, because I'm, like I said earlier, I'm eating with you, I'm in the house with you, I'm sleeping with you, I'm
You're
helping
living
your
with
kids with you, I'm with you. So if I'm with you, why can't you be with me? It was never understood. This is where I take accountability. I chose to stay in
him.
that
Accountability.
because, yes. And remember, I say choosing love over children. I
Hmm.
realized when that incident happened, and I had to think back, that's what I did.
So, do you think women think that men actually love them? Because if you got to make a choice,
You got to.
if you got to make a choice between your child and your spouse, significant other, and this for men and women, if you feel you got to make a choice, do you really think that that other person loves you? Because that child is going to love you. You're the only thing they have to depend on. You are their backbone. But that
Right.
significant other, male or female, can come and go just as easy as the word says no. Oh my
Exactly.
Lord. Mm.
You said a mouthful. Absolutely. But it comes apart. That goes back when we talking about the domestic violence and why people choose to
All of
stay.
it tie in.
It all ties in, and why people choose to stay in a relationship that they know they should have been out of. It's never easy. On the outside it looks easy because you're not in it.
Mhm.
This is not your story. This is not your life. You're not behind these walls at night when we might be having a good day, a good time, and love is real. But
Right.
then when we thinking that,
Manipulation.
okay, yeah, we thinking that everything is going smooth, but the minute that the reality shows its face, that's when we get weak. When
Yep.
reality shows its face,
Hmm.
that's when we get weak.
And that's why we calling this the unspoken truth. Nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody's
Hmm.
either ashamed, afraid, or they just totally oblivious. And I just can't
Yes,
see that many people, but I have run across people you're like, you think they really do it? Girl, is you crazy? Or boy, something, you done lost your mind. That girl ain't
right,
thinking about you, you know?
exactly,
And because we are only human and it matters of the heart, as you said earlier, our development of communication needs to change. And that's more so, and that all brings back domestic violence. Like you said, it's a mental, a physical, an emotional state of mind. These things don't just happen overnight. We allow them, our accountability, to build up. And as that build up ends, we have to learn to release it. It's hard.
absolutely,
It's hard
and
when
it
you accustomed to it. Yeah.
absolutely. And then when you get in a relationship, if you're not willing, because a child is attached to that person, and if you're not willing to take on their children as that parent, co-parent, or whatever, then you should not even entertain that relationship. And I'm just keeping it 100,
Mm.
because at the end it's going to be so toxic until when that child become 18, 17, 18, 19 years old. It's going to come a full circle. And then you're
Yes,
going to wonder why your child is going through the same thing that you went through, because that was me.
because you didn't hold yourself accountable or take heed. But we're gonna take some heat. I'm gonna give a shout out because we got to take care of our producers. We're coming to you today from Out of the Mud Inc. Please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, TikTok, uh, Facebook, of course. Please like, share, and subscribe. We right here trying to get a message out here. Shout out to James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield. Shout out to Larry Lott. And shout out to George Grundy II, George F. Grundy II. Can't forget about the F. But anyway, and also want to give a shout out to MUA Jock for all your beauty needs. Shop with her at www.shopmakeupismylife. And again, please pay attention to what's going on today. Share with us what's going on. Go on to the shows that come on and after this one. Out of the Mud is doing a great thing, y'all. And I just want y'all to know I love what I do. The hostess with the mostest love what she does. She's also on another podcast called The Larry Lott Show. I have another one called RBT Snaps and Real Blessings Thrive. Please check me out. I'm on Mondays. They're also on Mondays. We're having a good time here at Out of the Mud. But another subject question in regards to what we're talking about today. What if, and I heard you say this earlier, Stephanie, when we were off air. What if your partner somewhat or does accept your child, but their family doesn't? And I mean like their mother, their father, their cousins, their aunts. How do you deal with that? Have you experienced anything like that?
Absolutely. And in that last relationship, they also didn't accept it. But this is my thing with that. If you're in a relationship with this person, and this is your significant other, and you have a love, first of all, if you got love for that person, male or female, that you're in the relationship with, and they have children, and your family does not care for that child, because his family did not care for my daughter either. The mother actually talked about my daughter. His mother actually talked about her. Okay. Should have been up to him to not check, but respectfully have some boundaries with that. And that's when you have to put your foot down and say respectfully, this is my significant other, and this is my significant other's daughter or son. You're going to have to respect that, or I'm going to have to put some boundaries on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's if the love is real, and that's the love, if that love is true. Because if that love is real and if that love is true, it wouldn't be no problem at all to put a boundary between your family and your family.
Amen. Your family, because we're all family. But
Because at the end,
give me
yep.
1 second, please, honey. We got a couple new people online. We have a Tony Walker. Tony Walker said yes with the deuces up. Serenity Walker is on here, but whoo, Serenity went off. She got a lot to say. I told her to get Serenity while you listening, honey. That was great, powerful words you said, Stephanie. If you can read them, I don't know, but it's a lot. You need to click on that link and get brought in right into the show, because those are powerful words. Tony Walker also said truth. And Serenity said, I'm working through my bad choices and getting into legal trouble, but I stayed for my kids. But staying too long can be detrimental to yourself and your children. What you say about that, Stephanie?
Okay, I'm reading it through it.
Oh, that first one
Um,
was real long. Thank you,
yeah,
though, Serenity. I appreciate it.
Serenity, thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. But once I started, and I said this in another podcast that we had, once I started loving me, that's what it all boiled down to.
Mm.
Once I started loving me
And not worried about somebody else loving you.
and not expecting love from someone else to
That too.
validate who I am, that's when things started to change. That's when the irritation towards him came. That's when the emotional roller coaster started to stop.
Did you burn rubber on me, Johnny?
Period. That's when everything stopped. You have to, we all say that I do me. Just because you go get your hair done, your nails done, and you're looking good out here, don't mean you love you. Yeah, that does not mean that you love yourself because you are able to do all of that. That's not
Mm-hmm.
love. Love is when you get mentally sound, mentally stable, and mentally in tune with your mental and accept all of your accountabilities
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
say, that was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
When I started saying that was my fault, that's when I
Ooh,
started loving me.
mm,
Preach to me.
mm. You acknowledge it.
Well,
So, is it
preach to
okay?
me. I think I'm paused.
No, you're not.
I'm paused.
When that happened, that just your
Hold on a
don't
minute.
do nothing. No, Stephanie, can you hear me?
Okay, I
Can you
got
hear
you.
me?
Yeah.
When it frees up like that, that's just your connection. You don't have to do anything. It'll kick back in.
Oh,
It
okay.
do it to me
I got.
too. I think it's just how we streaming and as people getting on. I think that's what's happening. But I don't think you have to do it because once you start doing it, we still see you and hear you,
Oh,
and
okay.
then it go off. Yeah, you don't have to do
Yeah.
that.
But actually, when
Yeah,
I didn't know. Did you guys hear me?
yeah, we heard
Could y'all?
you.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
okay.
all I was going to answer you and ask you a question. Is it
Okay, go ahead.
okay for an outsider, whether it's a family, a friend, or foe, to speak on a disconnection that they see with you and your spouse's kids or your spouse's kids and them? I'll rephrase it.
Absolutely.
Oh, you understand? Okay. Is it okay if somebody outside say, girl, I was looking over there and your dude was looking at
Absolutely.
your son like he wanted to punch him in the throat? Or, man, I was over there looking and your girl was over there about to dump your son in the face. Is it
Absolutely.
it's okay? You think it's okay? So you don't think that start stuff, stir up mess, things like that? I don't
It,
either.
it,
I
it
agree. I
it's
think
all
because I will. I am one that would be like, first I would say something. Like, why are you
well.
doing that? Oh, okay. And then I'll tell the parent.
Well, I
Seriously.
think it's on the presentation or how they present that to that person. If you're presenting it to me in a messy way, I'm gonna take it like that. But
True.
if you're presenting it to me as concern, as though this is something that I'm missing that I may not know, and you're pulling my tailcoat, then that's different. Because if I see something and I got my girlfriend or my a guy friend of mine and I see something ain't right, listen, let me pull your tailcoat. You can
Hmm.
take it or you can leave it. My grandmother's saying was, that's your red wagon. You can push it or you can pull it. I can only tell you. It's your choice. But I'm gonna tell you what I see.
Girl, you
And,
got your
and that's
rag
that.
on your head. Welcome,
Yeah, I did.
Serenity.
I know I was gonna be like on the video. I was like, oh, it's too late now.
That's okay. It's okay.
So is. But yeah, so I appreciate you chiming in. To all you all out there, we got Serenity chiming in on the line today with us at Sassy T at 2, the unspoken truth. Feel free to request a link on the chat. Our producers, he chiming in on the line. Stephanie, this is Serenity. Serenity, this is Stephanie.
Hi, Serenity.
Um,
Nice to
Hello.
meet you.
so what were you saying? Well, Stephanie, did you want to finish and clear your point? And let's hear what Serenity had to say.
No, I want to hear what Serenity got to say.
All right, because that was a lot. You typed a lot.
Oh,
I didn't want
the
to take up too
first.
much time reading what you had to say. I'd rather for you to tell it.
Well, I think it was early on when you all were talking before you got into the next question. I was saying that I experienced this and I'm experiencing it now.
Wow.
My situation was when I met my ex-husband, my oldest son was like 3 months when he found out. Then he met him when he was 8 months. Long story short, we got married, but now we're not because I said ex-husband. So the thing is, what I was saying when y'all were talking about, step kids and stepfathers,
Children, love on our
sometimes,
children. Yeah.
yeah. And I think that what my comment was is that yeah, he came in saying or being and playing the father figure, because now what I see is that he's doing that to someone else. He's with someone else who has a daughter. And my thing is, he don't even talk to my oldest son anymore, whom he looked in his eyes when he was little and said, I'm
Mm,
your daddy now.
what?
So when do you stop being his daddy? Just because we divorced don't mean you got to stop that relationship. However, he blamed that on me just because my son was old enough at the time, and he spoke out against some things. And I said, I didn't even know that my son had reached out to him via text and said some things to him, young man, to an older man, that you said you was my father, but this is what I see you doing. This is what you told me at first. This is how you trained me. You told me to be faithful, but you not being faithful. And and he said some
Mm.
other things, and I didn't know. And he blamed me for that. But throughout the years, I always was like, well, guess what? Work on it then. Call them, talk to them, mend the relationship. I ain't gonna even stop it. I'll step out the way. But they don't talk now to this day. They still don't talk. And that has
That
nothing to
is
do with me.
one point, Stephanie. I didn't even consider that point.
That has
I
Mhm.
didn't
nothing to do
consider
with
that
me.
being a point. That what you just said when they. At what point do you stop being a parent, a step parent to a child you was in a relationship with, and watch grow up? At what point? Listeners, we
Well,
need y'all to call in, chime in, something. This is gonna get
I,
heated. What you
I
got,
got
Stephanie?
I got a question for you, Serenity.
Yes.
Prior prior to this relationship that you had, like you said, it was at 6 months. How was he towards your son in the beginning?
Okay. Well, let me clarify
There was
something.
there any red flags there?
No, let me clarify this. It was not a 6-month relationship. My son was 3 months
Okay,
3 months old when he saw that I had a son. When he
okay,
first held and met my son was 8 years
okay,
old. Now then we got married, and he practically raised him. When my son was little, like 3, 4 years old, that's when he looked him in the eyes and said, I'm your daddy now. And
okay,
they had a pretty good relationship. Now
okay,
when we separated, my son was 15 years old, because we had a long marriage. This wasn't no months. We're married for 14, 18 years.
okay.
And so now that my son is 24, they don't talk anymore really. And I kept trying to encourage the relationship because it was a good relationship. He called him dad. It was no stepdad. It was none of that. He was his dad. He was in the house. He was raising my son, training my son, whooping my son, reading to my son, teaching my son. He was being that father. But then when
Hmm.
we ended, it's like they ended, the relationship ended.
Is that the only child that was in the home?
No, we have 3 children together.
Okay. So it's a family of four.
Family
And
of four.
so those other three children probably feel the same disconnect as your child, which is not his biological.
Mm-hmm. And
Well,
at first, it was real weird. He wouldn't
Wow.
let them talk to him whenever they were at his apartment. They came back and was like, "Oh, Dad said we can't talk to him
so
because of his lifestyle or whatever." But yeah, that's their brother. They always knew them that's
What you
their
got,
brother.
Stephanie? What
now,
you got?
did he treat the one that's not biological later on different than than his children at any
No,
point in time?
no,
Okay, so in this instance, I don't think it has anything to do with the children. I think it has everything to do with you and and the relationship that he has with you. Because if he's not treating his children no different than the non-biological, that's not no disconnect. That's just him. So I really don't
Narcissist.
think that that had nothing to do with it, with his shift in behavior with the kids. I think it had everything to do with you and him and whatever you guys had going on, and he just took it out on the kids and was rather just distance himself with that and chose to stay away or out so that maybe he can move on and do whatever he chose to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't
Hmm.
think it, and in reality, the kids suffer because of that, and
Kids
they don't
always suffer.
realize. Yes,
The kids
the
always
children
suffer.
is suffering because of how he wants to distance himself from you and get out of that relationship, or I don't want to have nothing. I hear a lot of men say, I can't deal with my kids because I don't want to deal with their mama.
And that's so stupid.
And you
Because
hear it all
those
the
kids weren't
time.
even around and you still dealt with the mama. And I'm sure you dealt with her through all her phases of life, what she's going to go through. Whether she's mean, angry, sad, upset, crying, down, happy. You didn't experience that. And now these kids are involved because you don't want to be with her anymore. You leave your kids. Still have some kind of relationship with the kids. I'm pro
They
youth.
they will not, because the main excuse they will, she be tripping, or he be tripping, and I can't bring my other girlfriend around, or my, you what? And then you will go off to see him interacting with the new relationship kids better than his own biological kids, and his non-biological kid, he done moved on with the whole new family, house, car, cow, boat, and everything else, and the kid and caboodle.
Hmm.
Yep. And like those
And,
other ones never existed.
and like listen, baby,
I think the people he
I
treats
know.
don't exist in that whole thing is me and the oldest son. Our three children, he do still be involved with them, but I have seen that a little bit too, where he takes
Absolutely.
time more with her and her daughter,
So
and
now he's involved with his three and not the non-biological.
right.
Hmm.
And he
That
has a new
that's
lady that has a daughter, but I've seen him spending time with her and her daughter and not even with our own kids. Or when he's with them, my son, our son was like, we just want to be with you when it's our weekend with you. Why do they always gotta come? But
That's a great question.
when it's not his weekend and they're home with me, he's with her and her daughter. He don't invite the kids to infringe upon the time he's spending with her and her daughter, and they see that. But when it's time for them to be with their dad, they come. And my
right.
son being like,
Because
man, why they always gotta come?
you know why? Because that girlfriend or that other wife is saying, well, if you're going to see your other kids, you can take this one with you. Period.
Possible. That's what
Well,
Yeah.
I was just saying earlier when I said that's is a crying short men act like that. Like they don't
Yeah.
want you to be around your child because they're in fear that you're going to be back in some kind of cahoots of a relationship with that baby mama or that baby daddy. I said that about 20 minutes ago. This is a
mm-hmm,
shame. You know, that's why
They
a
have a
lot of us
skit.
yeah.
who got scared.
She be there too, but the thing is, like
I think.
my daughter has tried to tell him many times, more than once, like, Dad, can we just be with you this our weekend? Why they
Wow.
always gotta come? But they always come. And the kids, so now the
Wow.
kids, whatever, he not gonna listen to us. So they suffered through it. But when they home with me on my weekend and he's with her and her daughter, he don't call them up and he don't be like, hey Serenity, we gonna go to the movies. Can the kids come with us? No, he give her and her daughter that time. But when it's
Yeah.
him with his kids, here they come.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he's giving respect. He's giving respect to that other relationship and those kids.
Kids. But
Yeah,
not
Mhm.
that's where his respect is now, because you are not a factor to him anymore. And
mm-hmm.
because you're not a factor, that is ultimately affecting the children. But what you're going to have to do as a mom is to ensure your children that it's okay.
That's right.
Because
So
as your kids, and listen, the thing that you can do is talk about them in front of the kids. Don't do that.
yeah, don't
Because
do
I'm
that.
going to tell you what God loves. As them kids get older, they going to see it for themselves. They're going to know, and they're going to decide on how they want to move with him without you even saying a word. You don't
Okay.
have to say a word.
No,
Don't say a word,
they
because
gonna
I'm going to
figure it
tell
out.
you, Yeah, they're gonna figure it out because we don't want you looking like the angry mother in the displaced relationship.
I want to know more.
So,
Yeah, we don't
so
want you looking like the angry mother in the displaced
she
relationship.
do right now with that rag on her head. No, I'm just kidding. But look,
Now,
hold
And
on.
it's okay
hey,
We
I'm
because,
got more.
baby,
I'm
I
gonna have
want you to get off and understand
to
that
come back on looking right. Okay,
it's
but
No, you
greater
all right.
later for
If you
you.
say no, the world saw you. So Tony Walker said peace, and Jacqueline Mayfield, hey girl, she said that's weird, which it is weird about the relationship stuff. And Rob Maryland Bay said I can hear. So they understand. We got people out here listening that hearing what we're talking about. But as always, we gotta make sure we give our producers some love. Y'all like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Oh, my connection's lost.
I see.
Okay.
I'm getting a connection issue. Y'all like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook, Out of the Mud Inc. Get on there. Check out all this. I'm telling you, go. If you don't get it now live, come back and review it. Share it with your people. Some people may get a message out of this.
Now,
And then also giving a shout out to George F. Grundy II, James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield, and Larry Lott. These guys are what making it happen at Out of the Mud Inc. And I'm proud to be doing this today. And I'm doing it from the lovely setting of my home. So is Stephanie, and so is our guest caller in. If you want to be a guest caller in, check the link. It's in our chat line. But if you say anything, I'll get my producer to pay attention, send it to you. I'll be all right. So let's go to another little issue about this unspoken truth about choosing your children over love, or not being able to be in a relationship with somebody because of their children. So, at any time, do you think, any one of you, that it's still possible to be a family to recover from the hurt and the embarrassment of knowing that you just had to go through this with your spouse or your significant other, male or female, and now they want to say, okay, I'm sorry, I want to give it a try. Do you think it's worth to give it a try to be a family? After they've done all these upsetting, hurtful, heartbreaking things to your children, or someone's told you or you witnessed it, do you think at that point you can try to make amends to still
That's
be a
me.
family?
Me and Stephanie, like, woo, woo.
let me say this.
It's gonna take
Hell no.
therapy.
Stephanie on fire today, y'all. She just swore like three
Hell,
times. She just swore
hell,
like 3 times.
hell no. And
What?
I'm gonna
Say
say it,
yes.
and I'm gonna say it loud because I went
Oh
back
no.
and let me tell you what happened.
This is
The
healthy. No,
more you go back, the worse it get.
yes, ma'am.
Every that wait a minute. The last time he jumped on my daughter at the BP gas station up
All
there
right
on
now. Get
Clyde
into the meat of
Road.
the sandwich. Get into the meat of the sandwich now.
Okay, now we getting ready to go to the meat of the sandwich. All these years I knew that he didn't like my daughter. But
Serenity,
I'm
I still
going to say
understand.
this. My daughter didn't like him either. And that's why my daughter was constantly disrespecting him because she saw that he wasn't respecting me as a mother, a girlfriend, or nothing. And
Yes.
as a 14-year-old daughter, she saw this. And she did not like him, and he did not like her at
He
all.
hurt her at 14. She was 14 when he assaulted
Yes,
her. Girl,
yeah. Am I right? Yes. The video is on Facebook. My
girl.
daughter, she went down. She was on her moped, and
He
I
need to be
told her,
ashamed of himself.
Jayla, but I had to reprimand her too because I told her, do not go down that street. Don't go down his street. Don't do it. But she did it anyway because she was angry because she has seen her mama hurting. She has seen her mama crying. She has seen her mama displaced and all of that, and she didn't like it. So by that being said, she goes riding down Seneca Street and she calls him out his name while he's sitting on the porch because she on her moped. She gets to the BP gas station. She done lit fire into him. She gets to the BP. He gets in his truck and pulls up at the BP gas station,
Premeditated.
pulls off his belt, and thought that he was getting ready to whoop her. She had a friend on
Girl,
the back of the moped. They
uh-uh.
got off the back of the moped and they got to going. He ended up breaking her finger and giving her a concussion. She went to the hospital. She videotaped it. I went live at the hospital and she told the doctor the whole story that happened. Now, I don't care what my daughter do. Me and him wasn't even talking at the time. And I
Really?
told him, you should have picked up the phone and called her mother and let me deal with her. That's
Yes.
not your position because, for one, you never liked her anyway. You
Wow.
manipulated everybody on the outside as though you loved her. That was, she'd go, yeah, that was like my daughter. I love her. No, you didn't. You never loved her. Because you know why? It was all about me. And as long as he wasn't liking me or I wasn't giving in to his nonsense, he took it out on her. That's
Wow.
that manipulation part of it. So it make me feel like, well, I got to put up with his crap in order for him to treat my daughter good.
So
So that
if you had to put up with his crap, does that mean that you felt that he actually loved you, but he didn't love your child? Because to
it,
me, the separation should be very thin, like
that
a
when
thin film.
baby, when I tell you love, he didn't love me or her at the end of the day.
Oh, he should have been gone. He
He
should
should
have
have
been
been, and he should have been gone. And after that, we didn't talk for a minute. But then he come back and apologized. But it took my oldest daughter, Brittany, who's on here watching, to go to his
gone. Hi,
house.
Brittany.
She went to his house and gave him the business, okay? Where was
Girl,
her daddy at? He wasn't even there. He didn't
I got
even,
some. I
because
got
if
some
it was
people for you
me,
though.
I would have flew in to Flint, Michigan, and I would have laid the law down.
You would have been the new sheriff in town. All right,
The
so
new
Jacqueline Mayfield said, "Wow, oh no, if he loved you, he loved that child," which is true.
never did.
Then he never
Never
loved you
did.
either. Because
Never
I'm
did.
like her. I believe in that because you ain't gonna, like you said, be in the house with me, making a family with me, laying in the bed with me, eating with me, going out with me, publicly doing sharing.
And take,
Hopefully, sharing finances with you. But if not, you can't do all those
taking
things
care
without
and
me
helping
there.
him with his daughter. I was the
Yeah,
one
yeah, you was doing that. What
and
the?
never gave me credit for that. Never gave me not 1 ounce of credit for that.
Mm-mm.
And
But
told me that it was not his position to be a father figure to her. But he got on me and kept getting on me about being a mother figure to his daughter because she didn't have a mama and because he should have because she had a daddy who was in a whole different state in a whole nother relationship who wasn't present for my daughter. So that gave you the right to say that you couldn't be a father figure.
Mr. Man, whoever you are, wherever you are.
Shame on you.
Shame on you. And you should never tell nobody you are a father or a man because for you, if these
That was
actions
wrong.
allegedly took place, because I don't know you, I don't know the situation, but I believe what she's telling me. But I have to say it
It's
that way
a,
because I
it's
don't know her.
live.
But I'm
It's
gonna tell you,
live.
you should be ashamed of yourself. You need to go
I
repent
went
and ask the
live.
Lord for forgiveness because not only did you disrespect this woman, you disrespected her child, and you wanted her to be there for yours. That's selfish.
And
Narcissist,
I
selfish
still,
people.
and listen, even after that, I still was 10 toes. They used to tell me, Stephanie, I see you more with his daughter than I see you with your own daughter.
Girl, yeah, you better. Did you rent? Because that sounds
Girl,
like you said, you
repent.
better hold yourself accountable. Serenity, what you
I
think about
did.
this? What you think, Serenity?
I
We
had
got some
missed
callers
most.
saying stuff, but I'm just what you want to know what
I
you
had to
say.
step away for a minute, so I really missed most of that story. But the question you asked was, do you think you can come back together and make a family if
No.
either person wanted to? And right now, I'm still in the midst of trying to even heal, so I don't even feel I can answer the question. But just the other day, I had said to someone, I was like, I don't want to go backwards with anybody. I don't want to go with an ex boyfriend, ex-man. It's like I just don't want to. And what I'm going through right now, even just trying to get myself together, leave the state that I'm in, to come back where my family is at, and all this stuff I've been through, I just feel like it would be best for me
To
to
keep forward.
not, yeah, to just keep moving forward. I tried a lot to stay with him to the point of all this trouble I'm in. At least that's what I thought I was doing. Like I thought I was fighting for something. But at the end of the day, I realized I was just messing up my own self and I wasn't being a good example for my children.
There,
So I
what
don't
I would say,
think,
it's always involved the children. It's the
yeah,
children.
it's a
They're the
lot
ones
that
affected.
they've seen within me that I think that they would probably look at me and be like, Mom, are you crazy?
Period.
I just, yeah, actually I would say no, because like I still got a lot of hurt. I
There we
still
go.
got a lot of hurt
There
right
we
now.
go.
So I
There we
just
go.
feel like it would be best for us to just, you know, and I don't even think not. I don't. I'd be surprised if he this particular person, my ex husband, even ever came back and said that, because I think he know I know him now
Mm.
too well and too
Uh-huh.
clearly, because he has a narcissistic personality disorder, and I know all his stuff. I do not even think that he will want to come back and be with me,
Mm-mm.
because there would be no way to manipulate me anymore, because I know it
Narcissist.
all. I know it
Well,
all
see,
now.
my quick story is um the relationship I was in when I was married. My child, my oldest, I only got two children. So my first child was not with my boyfriend at the time. I ended up marrying him. But there was an issue there. And I kind of overlooked it. But it worked itself out, praise God it did. But the reason why it worked itself out, because I had to make sure that he understood that this is a package deal. I came with a child. You want to be with me, you got to deal with this child. And if she feel uncomfortable with you, then we got to make some adjustments and some changes and some compromise, because I'm not going to lose my baby or disrespect her for you. And I went through like a lot of stuff. It kind of traumatized her a little bit, but not that much where we couldn't get past it. And he has a daughter. And fortunate for me, his daughter's mother and I, we all went to school together. And my relationship with him came long after her. And we were able to still be friends from school and still be able to communicate and see each other at parties and family functions and love on each other and say, hey, and praise her daughter and mine. They're only a few months apart, same age. So that I got a good portion of the better side of this situation. I
Yeah,
don't
you
really
did.
understand a lot of it. My heart goes out to anybody who's listening, to you ladies, in regards to this. I will speak on it for days with you. I don't have all the answers. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist.
Mhm.
I'm just an author, a writer, and a poet with a heart. A poor black woman with a rich heart. That's what I
Mhm.
am. And I
Mhm.
feel like the relationship I was in, I had to feud and fight with him. His family loved my outside kid. My
Mhm.
family loved his outside kid. And then him and I had a kid together. And there's still love. Now, when it
Mhm.
comes to him and I, there has been a lot of tormented bad blood, because in this situation, I stayed for a lot of the wrong reasons and I stayed too long.
We
Me
all
And
too.
do.
then
Me too. Me
when
too.
I left with hurt and hate in my heart. And it took a while for me to come full circle to
Mhm.
understand that he went through something as a child, like Stephanie said earlier. These
Mhm.
children get affected by what they watch and grow up, and then they grow up and repeat the cycle. So I
It's a
can't
cycle.
deny the fact that he had some background issues, as Stephanie said. I didn't know all that before we made this union, but we were together for 11 years. We got married, stayed together for another 20 some years. Finally, it was to the time when we had to separate. Both of our kids, all of our kids are grown. They have babies of their own. They were on their own. So it was time to diminish the relationship. But the biggest issue was it took him a long time to want to be in the same room as me. And I know that's because he know he did me wrong. I put up with a lot.
Absolutely.
I put up with a lot. He did me wrong. So, nevertheless, now we're on speaking terms. We're so far past that I even told him this will never cross that threshold. My last name is still going to still be, as Ike Turner said, the name stays here. And
That's
names
right.
my maiden name
Tina
is this,
Turner.
but my married name is McBride. I was proud to be a wife. I was happy to be a wife. I was a very
Hmm.
great homemaker. I still
Yes.
am being single. But the thing is, there's a lot of women out here that don't know how to conduct themselves without being in a home without a man. Or it's a lot of men don't know how to conduct themselves without being in a home without a woman. You have to learn. First off, take care of them kids. Them kids is what we
Well,
have to take care of.
the the the, the problem is when you feel like you can't be in a home without a man, or you can't be at home without a woman. When you feel like you need a woman underneath you all the time and you cannot move forward without that, or if you feel like you need a man in your life and you just got to have some, that right there should let a person know that's a disconnect with yourself.
Hmm.
Okay.
You are not in tune with yourself, and you have not
Okay.
allowed yourself to heal from any trauma that you have been through, because you constantly putting band-aids on each time you move. Every relationship is a
That's true.
band-aid.
Say it, Stephanie, a
So you
band-aid.
constantly putting band-aids on everything you do. You go from being with me to another woman, you're band-aid, and you never gave yourself time to heal from that prior to relationship. Guess what? That next woman, I'm sorry, or man, you're a victim, because that person has not healed, don't even understand what he has done or she has done to even get themselves to where they are, to now they feel like, if I get a woman, I ain't gonna even think about that no more. Yeah, but guess what? We got a soul.
Ooh.
We have a soul, and that soul gonna let you know, and it's gonna stand there, and you gonna feel it.
Yep.
I don't care who you move on with, until you clear your mind and clear your and get the healing like Serenity is doing. She's healing
Girl, I'm
herself,
out of here.
and you go through the proper channels of trying to heal. If you need to go seek help or counseling, do that. If you need to stay at home by yourself and cry and go through it, and you be mad by yourself, it's like going through what they call it, withdrawals.
Mm-hmm.
Withdrawals from love.
I'm
Go
trying to
through
tell
it.
you. Hey, Serenity, can you hear me?
I think Serenity then left the building.
Girl, I was like, why she set the phone up like she got the camera on the rose?
Serenity, but I was going to tell Serenity
Like, girl,
too.
turn the camera around. What you doing? Oh, my Lord. What is that? I was trying to figure
I
it out.
know.
I'm going to keep on staring at it. I'm like, okay, now, Serenity.
I
Oh,
think
well.
Serenity, she didn't left the building.
She left the
But my
building.
thing,
Okay. All
but
right.
that she
Fair
has
enough.
a good, we just have to pray that people understand and take accountability and realize that when they found out what the issue was, that they dig deep side in their soul and get that healing that they need, and learn to
Amen.
love themselves, and know that doesn't nothing come before your children but God, until you
Woo.
marry,
Yes.
until you're
Yes.
married.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the respect from one another, and that goes both ways. I'm currently going into my next phase of my life. I done went through
Amen.
a healing, and I'm still healing. I got a long ways to go, but I
Mm-hmm.
realize what I done been through now. But my next relationship, the guy that I'm currently talking to now, is a way much better type of a person, man and guy. He shows love. He's about love. He's about caring for my children, being concerned about us and my household. So I know it's Rodney McLaurin Bay. That's who I'm currently talking to, and a whole different type of a guy.
Well, all right. All right. All right.
Yep.
You know what?
So
He
you,
just chimed in and he had a couple good things to say because that's what we're doing this here for. You know, we almost to the end of our show, but I'm just gonna say this again. That's what we're doing this for, so that people can understand that we are all human, but we're all God's children. And at one point or another, we have to understand we got to compromise with each other. We got to learn how to love because it's these little babies. that we're producing and putting into this world that's coming up and seeing all the wicked ways of what we do, all the bad vibes, and then the evilness that's also already out in the world that they got to deal with is going to affect the way that they grow up and treat their spouse or their children
Abs-
or somebody
absolutely.
else's children. So today, out of the mud, man, had another powerful, great shaded George F. Grundy II, James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield, and Larry Lott. Coming you today with MUA Jock, all your beauty needs, www.shopmakeupismylife. I want to give a shout out to the oil lady, April. She's on the Facebook as the oil lady. She has some wonderful, beautiful smelling oils. I love them. And I bought some before and passed them on as gift to people. But I'm going to let you know, I'm going to probably do that again this year. So April, when you got your discounts and sales going on, let me know. Let me know. And Keys Cosmetics, she's out here doing her thing. I don't have the website or anything for that, but I just wanted to let you know. Oh, my Lord.
Uh-oh.
Faith through poetry, God's will. The feelings of
Bring it
life with
out.
all its ups and downs.
Absolutely.
Recipes for salvation, satisfying your hunger for the Lord. Letters to my Lord.
Ooh,
All these
girl.
books are spiritual
The
motivational
cover on that one look
things.
bad.
It look bad.
Woo.
I
It
was
looked
sad
very
that day. I was sad.
no, that's a bad cover picture you got on there.
Everybody keeps saying it, but you know, every time I look at it, I feel the hurt that I had when I took that picture. And it was
Really?
because of my son, the reason why I kept it. I was about to delete it. He was like, wait a minute, let me see that picture. And he put it in black and white. He said, Ma, you need to
That's
keep this.
it.
And I was like, I'll tell you, I was in a somber moment that day because this is around the time where I was being emotional about things of my own life. You know, I'm tired of being single. I'm tired of men playing games. I'm tired of it. I'd rather be single though, because I decided to pour my love into the Lord and into myself. So that's what I've been doing lately. I'm not trying to figure out what nobody else got going on. I got to worry about me right now. And then the Lord will send me someone. He will guide us
Absolutely.
together. That's
He
all I need to
always
do.
will. And it's gonna
And I
be
appreciate
so
the opportunity.
unexpected. He
All
just
right.
gonna pop up and it's just gonna be like you that hey, you the Lord that sent you, you gonna know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Stephanie,
You
go and
gonna
take us on
definitely
out. We got it's
huh?
50. I said, go on and take us on out with our little spiel over what we got, making people remember to chime in next week and all that good stuff.
Okay. Yep. Everybody chime in next week. I don't know. We haven't came up with our topic yet
Not
for
yet.
the for the next show, but we will be here next Sunday. Sassy Tea Sunday. We'll be here at 2 o'clock. Chime in. And I hope that you all have enjoyed the conversation and the message that has been told today. I hope it has been received to those people who feel like they're in that type of situation.
Yes.
And if you do, just pray on it and learn to love yourself. And with that
Amen.
being said,
Well,
that's
Rod,
it for us
Rodney
today.
McClure Bay said, my baby. And he said, beautiful topic, ladies. Thank you, Rodney McMurrin Bay. Thank you. He said,
Yep.
my baby, beautiful topic, ladies. All right.
Thank
So
you.
now we'll end. I didn't want to end the show without reading the last message on our top.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're back. We
and,
thought
and
Oh,
you was
put
she
gone.
back.
and put your kids first too. When you're
Put your
dealing
kids
with
first.
somebody, don't overlook that stuff anymore. Like you said,
Okay.
Terry, you said we're a package deal, and I'm not gonna lose my kids for you.
Mm-hmm.
And just remember that, people. I think sometimes, especially women, we don't want to be single, and we put ourselves in a desperate spot to where we'll
No, I'm
accept a
not.
lot of
Mm,
mess and
I'm not.
over our kids. But don't do that.
No.
That's what I
Yeah.
want
But
to say. Don't
we
do
come to
that.
yeah, we come to an end. But I gotta say this before we get off. When you set that camera down, girl, you might as well do something different because whatever it was facing looked like a rose.
Oh, it
I
was
was like,
what you yeah, I got some roses in my room in my
oh,
planner.
okay.
I put it by
I
my
ain't crazy.
planner.
No,
Oh,
honey, it was on the other side of it.
I
You'll
thought
see
you
it.
was talking.
Go back and look at the video
See,
toward the end. You'll see it.
Oh
But
see,
no, I
listen.
got
I
roses
thought
in
you
my
was
room.
talking about a different kind of rose. I got to get my mind out
Me
together. I'm
too. I did too.
I was. I was. That's what it looked like. I was like, I see it. I looked
yeah.
like, what is you
Okay,
doing
now
with this
you
on the
didn't
show,
sit
girl?
it. Look,
I
now
know what
look.
Sassy T had
I
took
got
place.
it.
No, baby. You're going to have to
Let's
see it
put
live.
I'm
her
glad
together.
you
It was a
clarified
lot.
that.
No, honey. No, 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 no.
You're silly.
Anyway, look, y'all. Y'all been wonderful.
It
Oh, it's
ain't.
a baby. That baby need to see
It
better,
ain't. It ain't.
better, better, and better. She needs to see
Yes.
better. That's right, beautiful. Go on to smile. That's your granddaughter.
Yeah, this my only grandbaby. Yep.
Yo, your granny is, we about to make a difference in this world, honey. So when you grow up, little lady, that you
That's right.
understand how to watch for red
Look at them.
flags and get away from people that ain't gonna like the people that you produce. All right?
Yes.
Right.
All right, y'all. Hey, y'all been wonderful. Sassy Tea at 2. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Sassy Tea Sundays at 2.
And
Had
thank
a
you,
great show, y'all.
Serenity.
Yep, thank you,
Oh,
Serenity, for
thank
chiming in.
you.
And tune in next week. I don't know what the topic, but we'll start sharing it in the middle of the week.
Okay.